Hi everyone, it's Dylan Langille, Vice President of Exploration with White Gold Corp, and I'm excited to announce today the first results from our first drill hole from the 2025 exploration season. So just for those who are maybe new to the story or not familiar with the property portfolio, these results are coming from our flagship White Gold property in the heart of our portfolio, and it's drill results from our Golden Saddle deposit. So for 2025, our exploration program for drilling targeted the high-grade footwall breccia that was identified in previous years' drilling, but not followed up on in detail. So this year we have drilled 3 holes from north to south. These 3 holes have intersected 3 zones of mineralization. They intersected the mineralization in the hanging wall, in the main zone, and in the footwall. And the results being released in this announcement are from the shorter of the 3 drill holes. It's WHGS 25D0218. So we're really excited to announce that the drill hole intersected all 3 zones of mineralization in the hanging wall, the main zone, and the footwall breccia. And we're really pleased with the results we see, particularly in the main zone of the deposit and the footwall. The main zone returned 50.2 meters at 6.89 grams per ton, which is really high grade. It came out higher than we had anticipated. And in the footwall breccia, it intersected 2.8 meters at 6.89 grams per ton as well. So just to give a little more context on this drill hole, what we see here on the left is a 25-meter thickness cross-section of the hole being announced. So highlighted with these red boxes are the 3 zones that the drill hole has successfully intersected, the first being the mineralization in the hanging wall. So part of the strategy for this year has been to refine our geological model and capture more grade and mineralization wireframes. And just to jog viewers' memory, in the top right here of this image, you can see in the hanging wall, we started to shape together more mineralization panels than were previously captured in our old models. However, you can see there's still holes in those mineralization wireframes. And in the bottom right here, you can see that in blue, this is all unassayed drill core. So this result of 0.75 grams per ton over 3 meters in hole 218A confirms the idea that there's more mineralization to be captured in the hanging wall. And that was part of our 2025 exploration season, was to go back and pull these drill holes and relog and assay the intervals that have not been assayed from historic drilling. The second exciting result that came out of hole 218A was through the main zone of the deposit here in the middle. This zone came back at 6.89 grams per ton over 50.2 meters, exceptionally high grade. The hole up dip, drilled in 2017, had results of 3.14 grams per ton over 88.4 meters, and the hole down dip, drilled in 2018, had 3.69 grams per ton over 40 meters. So broader intervals, but lower grade. What you don't see in this cross-section, looking into the page to the east, is that WD031 was also a high-grade intercept. So now we have 2 drill holes spaced 60 meters apart with greater than 5 gram per ton material, which supports the theory that at Golden Saddle, there are these high-grade ore shoots existing in the overall mineralization envelope. And this drill hole works to refine that concept. The third intercept, and part of the strategy for this year, was to go after this footwall breccia lower down the hole. So we intersected this zone, and it came back 6.89 grams per ton over 2.8 meters. This hole pierced the footwall breccia on a 150-meter gap and will ultimately work to improve the grade of this block model in the footwall breccia area. Looking at the footwall breccia, we see that this hole 218A intersected between WD46 and WD38, and the 6.89 grams per ton is higher than the block model in the background. So ultimately, it will increase the grade of the block model currently going into the resource estimate, which is really encouraging. The other thing I wanted to point out was that we still have 2 drill holes that were drilled in 2025 pending assays, hole 217 and hole 216, which were drilled following hole 218. I just wanted to point that out because they aren't in sequential order, so I didn't want people to think that we were just releasing 28 ahead of the other 2 drill holes. So overall, these initial assay results from hole 218A have really solidified our strategy in terms of going after Golden Saddle and Arc for the purpose of resource growth and testing theories on how controls may be influencing high-grade plunges here at the Gold Saddle deposit. I should mention that we also have 2 holes pending assays that were drilled on the Arc, so listeners can look forward to those as well.